Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Thomas Engel. I'm director of the Saints. My personal passion is snowboarding. My business passion is creating good mobile internet services, just like many of you here. And I'm standing here because I want to present a fun and useful analogy where mobile internet is going. So I'm a believer in the power of mobile internet, and so are many of you. But there are also a lot of non-believers here and outside this room. So in this presentation, I will look at the invention and growth of snowboarding and mobile internet services and show similarities between them. Before we kick off, I want to clarify my definition of mobile internet. Mobile internet can be used with one hand and while walking or even on the bike. If that's not the case, it's not mobile internet. Then there are two metaphors I want to share with you to get to the essence. The actual snowboard stands for the service, and the snowboarder is the user. But before that, we need two other inventions. Skiing was invented 5,000 years before Christ. It was done in the Nordic countries, and it helped them for hunting and getting to other places faster. So they could connect to people. This guy here is Martin Cooper. He's considered the inventor of the mobile phone. He wanted people to communicate with each other anytime, anywhere. His first call was in 1973 to his biggest rival, Thomas Engel, and I think he might be a faraway relative of mine. So for the mass adoption of skiing as a winter sport, which then followed, they made millions of skis. These were straight, the nose was curved, they had bindings on them, and until the late 70s, everybody was skiing. For the mobile phone to take off, we needed lots of phones, billions of phones. They were made and sold all over the world. In 2000, 50% of the people in the developed world were already texting and calling. Around this time, SMS became the first hugely popular data service which worked on the regular networks. So for skiing, we needed big resorts. They were created everywhere, and they needed ski lifts and slopes. So tow lifts, chair lifts, cabin lifts were built to transport as much skiers as possible. And in the telecom space, they went from the notorious green point zones here in Holland to creating GMS networks that covered as much terrain as possible. This was to facilitate as much voice and SMS traffic as possible, so everybody could use that. So now we've laid down the ground rules, and then in 1977, the snowboarding pioneer Jake Burton introduced the snowboard to the wider audience. And this was made out of one piece of wood. You stood sideways, the sides were curved, so you could make better and sharper turns. Unfortunately, the ski resorts were not designed for snowboarding. Then, after voice and SMS, entity Docomo launched the first mobile internet service in 1999 called iMode, but most operator networks were not properly designed for this service. So as snowboarding became bigger, the energetic and creative minds of this group expressed their own needs. They rode the slopes in a different way and used hard-to-find, poorly made fun parks because there was a lack of a better alternative. And as for the growth of mobile internet services, various parties all created mobile spaces for people to discover and download content, later to be known as walled gardens. Too bad, most of the time people did not discover the content, and it was not as good as promised. But they used the service because there was lack of a better one. So the real eager and fanatic snowboarders sought out ways of getting the best out of their snowboarding experience. They made better jumps, went off-piste, rented helicopters, and even took it to the streets. They wanted more freedom, which could not be found in the ski resorts. For mobile, content is king and distribution is queen. The users wanted better queens for their mobile content. So they used BitTorrent, Kazaa, Cydia, among others. They wanted more control and freedom, of their choice, which could not be found within the operator's walled gardens. So then ski resorts noticed that there was money to be made from snowboarders. They started to adapt and embrace the snowboarders by means of better located fun parks, maintaining them better. They adapted the lifts and they even made special passes for them, assuring that the snowboarders did not look elsewhere and that they wanted to return to the resorts every year. And then for the mobile content, what the mobile content users were already seeking for was then introduced. It was the first correctly provided service, and it was the iPhone in the App Store, where content could be discovered and purchased in a manner that they didn't need to go somewhere else. So here the left chart shows that almost 50% of the total winter sport fanatics are currently snowboarders, and the right chart shows that 1/3 of the people owning a mobile phone use mobile internet services. But wait, there's something to add to this left slide. And that is that in the past 8 years, every ski made has been a mini snowboard, as you can see here, because the curved sides made the experience better. So what I'm saying is that all winter sporters are in one way or another snowboarders. Some just don't realize it. And therefore, the group of snowboarders now includes the skiers. And applying this to the mobile space, I claim that in the coming years, 100% of the mobile phone owners will use mobile internet. Some just don't realize it.
Dankjewel, Thomas.